Yeah, we are in the building. What up? What up? What up? It's Sports Roundtable, and we're in the building. I am your humble host, H.O. from Bankhead, and my main man, got my main man with the glasses on tonight, the sports superhero, Mr. Hancock. What up, Han? It's 7 o'clock. It is time to roll, baby. What's happening?
What's up with you, big homie? How you feeling?
Man, all is good. I see we hooded up today.
You hooded up, baby. There it is. SRT
Yeah,
love, baby.
yeah, we hooded up today.
What's good with you?
Man, ain't that shaking, man. Just trying to make another day. Just trying to make another day.
You sound like my pops. That's one of his favorite lines. I said, "What's up
Yeah.
with you, big home, big time?" He said, "Just trying to make a day, son." That's how he said, "Just trying to make a day."
Hey, Han, check this out. We already look. They couldn't even wait till the buses of the week.
Already.
Already, baby. Boy, look here. It's gonna be some buses of the week, some ballers, some buses. I'm sure we gonna be ready for that. But man, we got a great show coming up for you. Before we even get started down this road of this the hot news, and let's go ahead and talk about it. We got some breaking news last night after everything went down, and were you surprised Milwaukee Bucks fired their coach before he got even a season in?
Man, that's more. I couldn't believe it. I've never seen something happen for a coach, and he's 30-13, if I'm not mistaken. I
Yeah,
mean, with a winning record, and it had to be some behind the scenes things that were going on. But does this lead to, a lot of players start to get a moniker or a tag about being coach killers? And none of this will go down without Giannis's approval.
exactly.
So what does that say about that? You know what I mean? From what I hear, there was a lot of dissension in the ranks. Maybe some players feeling like they knew more than what he knew. I was really surprised that even when they, gave him this job, to be honest with you, I was like, well, that kind of came from left field to me. But
Yeah,
he got it. But apparently, he wasn't on point with the players. And the NBA is the players' league. We know that. They pretty much run the league. And they're able to get out of contracts without honoring them, which I have no issue with. It is what it is. I'm just saying, if all our sports franchises, sports programs, or things that we consider pro, they have the most power as far as players, and
right.
they exercise their power this time to get him out of there. Man, I was shocked. I was really shocked.
Now there are some rumors that Mr. Doc Rivers were working behind the scenes to get the job.
Well, if that's concrete, I can't say it's concrete. I wouldn't be surprised at it, that he was, maneuvering himself in a way to get this position. But hey, man, it's a dog eat dog world. Dog eat dog world. You have opportunity to get something, you get in there and get it, man. That's what happens.
Is the NBA or is sports in general more cutthroat than the entertainment business or Hollywood?
Not they're close, but man, I think entertainment field is the most cutthroat. We see the things that go on there, man, with the casting couches and things that they make these people do to to get that fame. So I don't know
Yeah.
if it's as cutthroat or as conniving or as underhanded or as filthy as entertainment, but they're close.
Yeah. Also, the Doc Rivers thing, he was working for ESPN as an analyst, and now he's
Also,
back in coaching again.
right. He was also working for what's my man, the podcast guy? The same guy that does the over Draymond and all those guys.
Bill Simmons.
Bill Simmons. He was in with Bill. Yeah, he was working with Bill Simmons on a podcast. They were doing this. And I listened to Bill Simmons. So he was saying that he was disappointed that he wouldn't have Doc through the playoffs, that they had a good working relationship. Also, Austin Rivers is in that, what do they call that? The athletic, or not the athletic, but what is his called?
I can't remember.
It's conglomerate, whatever it is. But Oh, I think he has 3 Rivers boys. Along with Doc, and then two of his sons were all working together or working on different podcasts there. But I know he was lamenting the fact that he was going to be losing him.
The Ringer.
The Ringer. That's it. Yeah, he was in on that. He was in with the Ringer.
Yeah, the Ringer. So, how much of this did Giannis? How much influence you think Giannis had to do with the firing of Adrian Griffin?
I think he had a lot to do with it. I don't think anything happens without your star player's knowledge. Now, he can distance himself like the owners do when they let Roger Goodell go out there and take all the slings and arrows and they work behind the scenes. You know, I'm pretty sure he probably called, I ain't gonna say that, that's just being wrong. But he's taking a page out of LeBron, you know, from LeBron's history of how he maneuvers and gets things done. So,
Basically, say all of it.
Yeah.
All of it was on Giannis. Yeah.
He had a lot to do with it. They will not make a decision without their star player being, you know, having the input on it. So, yeah, I agree with Macy 100%. It wouldn't have gotten done had he not signed off on it or initiated.
So my last question before we move on to the hot news, does this look bad on Adrian Griffin's resume that he didn't even make it a full season? Does it?
Yeah, his head coaching job. He might get a job at Decatur Records, so he might coach a men's league team, but his days as a head coach in the NBA are wrap, baby.
Oh man, that's cold blooded.
Yeah, he through with that. That's it.
What was he set up for failure?
What I tell you about young black head coaches in the NBA? They're a stopgap, man. Rarely do they find, you know, a place where they're veterans and they can kind of maneuver and get the way. Tyronn Lue fell into a good position. He had LeBron. Right. He had some vets. Also, you look at what happened with my man that's coaching LeBron now. What's his name? Darvin Ham.
Darvin Ham, yeah.
Yeah, you know, they'll find these nuggets or whatever, but in the meantime, you more find out the Mark Jacksons, the tragic stories of that. Mark Jackson builds Golden State into a young nucleus to where they were on the cusp of winning, and now he can't get a job. It makes no sense. If he's shown what he can do as a leader and leading an organization, why is he not a coach again? But when we see the Lloyd Pierces of the world and things, they're pretty much just there to tread water, maybe teach or whatever, but they're not going to be. I told you when Lloyd Pierce got hired, he wouldn't see this out. Remember that night?
Yeah, I remember.
I said, this is a wrap. He won't have it.
Yeah, I remember. And we definitely got to get E-Dub on to talk about these Hawks next week.
Yeah. So, you know, it's tough out here for the young black head coaches, man.
All right, man. With that being said, we're going to jump into some hot news. The hot news sponsored by Big Easy Grill, 1193 Collier Road. Big Easy Grill, the best Louisiana seafood in town. Going over to the Big Easy Grill and let them know SRT Sports Roundtable sent you. You get 10% on any meals, $25 or more. All right, hand the transfer portal is hot. And Ohio State is in the transfer portal, and they are taking advantage of this fully. Michigan wins the national championship, which puts Ohio State as a target. Now, Ryan Day is desperate. He already has a 5-star quarterback coming in, Aaron Nolan, actually from Langston Hughes here in Georgia. And now he goes to the transfer portal and pulls 2 of Alabama's, one who played and one who was going to play. Julian Sayans and Caleb Daniels are now going to Ohio State. Your thoughts on that, and where does this put Ohio State?
When you get talents like the only thing that's holding Caleb Williams from patrolling the secondary in the NFL is his age right now.
Caleb Downs.
That's the only thing holding him right now. He would be on somebody's roster in the secondary right now. But for them to get a guy who's already shown that he's probably going to be one of the an All-American next year in that position. And then you get a talent like, saying that's supposed to be this. The sky's the limit. You reloading, and this is the problem that Alabama is going to face without Nick Saban. And I think they're in for a rude awakening. It's going to be a tough few years. We'll see if they're ever able to get back. I don't think they'll ever reach the level they are now. But we're going to stay on this transfer portal. Ohio State made themselves a player. They positioned themselves well with these two prospects. And from what I understand, the checkbook is still out. They're going to get more. So, yeah, this is two big gets, and you can look forward to more happening, I believe.
So tell me about the surprise of Caleb Downs not coming back home to Georgia when you
I honestly was shocked. I thought I would have almost bet the mortgage, or at least half a payment, that he was going to be in a Bulldog. I really would have. I thought that's where it was going. This was shocking, and this is what I think when Georgia, I don't think they get the checkbooks out the way other programs have. And their selling point is, look at what we accomplished. Look at the amount of talent we put into the NFL, and they probably try to use that more of a selling point when other people are saying how much mama need, what dad need, what swimming pool they want to bet. You feel what I'm saying? So, what kind of car you're going to drive, that type of what kind of car your auntie need, those kind of things. So the NIL has made this easier for people to get paid, but now it's just a matter of how much you get paid, because a lot of people have good situations, but they move on from schools and make more money. And this probably has something to do with Caleb, with Downs leaving, because he can make more money in NIL. But Georgia, Bama to lose him and Georgia not getting a homegrown talent, that was shocking to me. That was shocking. It has to be something else. Maybe he looked at the roster, didn't like what he saw. I don't know. But it was surprising. I thought he was coming home.
Yeah. So Bob is in the chat, and he's already going down the rabbit hole that I didn't really want to go down until later on. But I have to agree with him. If we go side note this thing about, Joe Meyer and Mayer, whatever, however you pronounce it, Andre Beltran, Adrian Beltran, and no Andrew Jones, no Gary Sheffield, no Dale Murphy, no Billy Wagner. So, does the Andrew Jones, the Dale Murphy, these Atlanta people who are not the Atlanta Braves people who are not getting the nod to get into the Major League Hall of Fame, does this have anything to do with the disrespect Atlanta has been garnering over the years, in your opinion?
Well, it's kind of hard to deny or go against that if you look at the situation. These names you're calling were, cornerstones for the Braves organization. And back in the day, Dale Murphy was a star on the Superstation, baby. He just, every time you looked up, I grew up in Memphis, and we knew Dale Murphy from watching that. The Braves and the Cubs were mainstays on cable at that time. So we got to see a lot of Atlanta. So watching him and the other people, where's your boy Pocoroba, Bip, and all them people, and
Bip Pocoroba,
Al Raboski, and those type of names. And with Dale Murphy, he was a straw. You take a page from Darryl Strawberry, he stirred the drink. Dale Murphy was a beast. So I've always been surprised that he didn't get in or hasn't gotten in. Andrew Jones, I'd like to look at all the numbers. To be honest with you, I know he was a hell of a center fielder, but I don't know too much. I had to look at his offensive stats to see what hell he's on that.
If Isaac Smith is in the Hall of Fame for defense, then name me a better center fielder. Defense.
Yeah, I agree. I can't knock that. I can't knock that. I really can't.
And then Todd Helton gets in as well. And here go Bob saying this. So Bob is basically saying that, when are you going to take the Coors Field inflated numbers into the effect when it comes to Todd Hilton, Larry Walker, players like that. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, I understand, but they call Atlanta the launching pad too. But
Andrew
I'm
Jones
just
hit
messing
52 home runs one year. Let's not forget.
Yeah, I feel you, Bob. I understand, man. And like I said, I'd have to look at all the numbers of Andrew Jones, but I do think he's deserving from what, just looking at it from this, the view that I have right now, but I haven't gone in depth in the numbers.
Okay, I just pulled up his numbers. Let me see. Okay, don't go over that far. Stats. I think what has happened is the last couple of years of Andrew Jones' career, I think people are paying more attention to that than they're actually doing the body of work.
Could be right.
And he had 10 golden gloves. I mean, my goodness.
Out of the defense at all.
Now they came up with this stat saying that they came up with this stat talking about saving runs as defensive stat.
Right.
And most of them was infielders, right?
Okay.
Out of the top 50 names who's in the top 50 rankings in saving runs, Andrew Jones is the only outfielder, period, in saving runs.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, those are good good selling points for him. His entrance into the Hall. So
yeah, and Harold Baines is in the Hall of Fame. That just makes it even worse.
Yeah, I think. Well, they're different eras anyway, but it's so hard to cross eras and talk about numbers. That's why a lot of the wide receivers, if you haven't gotten in, it's going to be tough with the numbers that they're putting up in football now. Guys that we saw that were star NFL receivers at the time, we look at them now and say, well, he don't have the numbers of these guys, but they didn't throw the ball as much. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just different eras, and that's different sports, but still what I'm saying, the game is different.
Andrew Jones had 434 home runs in the era where home run was the thing, and he's not under that umbrella when we talk about steroids, so you could take that cloud off of him.
No, he was just at the Gold Club, wasn't
he? Yeah, that's the only thing. He was at the Gold Club. Now, the only thing, Gary Sheffield, who actually didn't get in either,
right.
But they holding that's the cloud of the steroid era is holding him back.
Was he ever implicated in that, or just from saying the era he played in? Because I didn't think he was ever.
No, he was, but his name came up a whole lot because play with the Yankees and the association with Roger Clemens and the Pettit and things of that nature. So that's the only thing with that is he's polarizing. So I mean that makes it all of the speculation makes it even more when you're talking about a Gary Sheffield. Now Billy Wagner didn't make it either, but name me a better closer, a left-handed closer in the career of closing games when you know that when he came in 1, 2, 3, we lights out.
Right. Yeah, he was the man, no doubt about it. He was definitely the man.
And let me be clear. It's not the fact that I got a problem with Andrew Jones not getting in yet. The problem I have is who's getting in over him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem I got. Is the people that you're allowing to get in disrespect to him. That's my problem. I mean, he got 3 more chances, 3 more years to do it, but I don't understand it. And let's see what Bob got. Exactly. Lee Smith is in, but Billy Wagner is. Yeah, I agree. So, that's the only problem I got with that. All right, so we went down that rabbit hole with the
Hall of Fame.
with the baseball Hall of Fame, and
Yeah.
we're gonna jump back
But
on
let's
topic.
get back to that oblong ball. That you were about to talk to me about the weekend, this past weekend in football.
Yeah, let's go on, man. Let's talk about this past weekend. We're gonna talk about this wild card weekend. This wasn't a super wild card, but the wild card weekend. Give me your surprise, your impressive, and your disappointing.
I don't know too much of a surprise. Well, I was kind of surprised that Green Bay played well. If you want to talk surprise, I was surprised about Tampa Bay. They played a pretty good football game, and I really have to start giving. We call him Buster Mayfield, but Baker, man, has solidified himself as a quality NFL quarterback. I'm just guys got to be real about it.
He
So
was he's playing for a contract. It's funny how when you're playing for a contract, how well you start to play.
yeah, and you also got to be at a place where they believe and want you to be there. Also, I mean, a lot of that goes hand in hand. You got to call the right plays, put them in a position also, because we see a lot of times people with less talent. And we talk about San Francisco's quarterback because he's not that guy. But to his credit, that final drive that he had where he went 6 for 7, he really should have gone 7 for 7 if Kittle doesn't drop the ball. So, yeah, my impressions of him are still, the jury's still out. I just think he had so much talent around him and a great play caller in his head coach, which masked a lot of his deficiencies. But
Exactly.
I think that if San Francisco doesn't have Debo this week, it's going to be a problem, because Debo makes a difference. He makes a difference as to how they call their games. And he's like a safety blanket almost when you look at how Purdy can get the ball out of his hands quick enough to have Debo make things happen. And also, if you watch the game, without Debo in there, Green Bay was able to kind of they held my man down. They held McCaffrey down most of the game. He had a breakaway run for about 52 yards, I believe. But other than that, when you look at the game, they pretty much hit him, and they hit him and played him as well as I've seen him play really a lot this year. They got a lot of bodies on him and kept him pretty much contained. But like I said, he had that big run for a touchdown. So, hey, my main point on this again is Debo is a cog that they really can't stand to have out of the lineup. So that'll be interesting. I heard today he didn't practice and is looking doubtful for the weekend. So yeah, we really need to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I agree. Let me see. So you went surprise, impressed. Did you go disappointed?
I'm still disappointed in the Cowboys. Not really disappointed in Houston. I think they had a great year, so I won't really say disappointed. They actually played well in the first half, but when you look at it, they were just a little overmatched, man. They were, you look at the Ravens was just too much. That defense that they had was suffocating. They held Houston out of the red zone for the entire game. They didn't get in the red zone at all. And this is a team that had moved the ball pretty well all year long. But that just shows you the style and the toughness that Baltimore plays with, man. They're a real good defensive team. And I'm looking forward to this game this weekend because those two linebackers, Evan Queen and Roquan Smith, they not only play well, they hurt, they go out to hurt you when they hit you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. Should be good.
Bob had brought up a good point about Jordan Love. Let's go ahead and give him his flowers. I mean, it was so many. I think we did last week, but it was so many trade rumors hanging about Jordan Love before the season started, and he has looked well well
Yeah.
prepared. He's looked great. He's shined. He is, you know, it's amazing how you can take some skill sets of a guy, put him with some young receivers, a veteran running back, and a nice play caller, and you can see what you get.
Yeah. What I really am impressed by is the organization and how they brought him along. You know, we look at guys when they're taking high and early first, late first round, early first round picks, whatever, highly drafted quarterbacks, they kind of throw them in the fire. But Green Bay has a recipe, and it's proven to work. You know, they put a quarterback in. Now they got far from Atlanta, and he came in, I guess, a little season after the Buckhead thing. That's the only reason they left Atlanta because they couldn't keep him
Mm-hmm.
out of Buckhead, from what I understand. But him going to Green Bay catapulted his career, made jumpstarted his career, and made him a star. And what they did by having drafted Rodgers and letting him sit, 3 years, I believe, 3 to 4 years, he
Yeah.
was able to learn from Brett. And he came in and really took over right where Brett left off. We don't see organizations have Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back. And I'm not saying Jordan Love will be, but we know his two predecessors both are going to go in the Hall of Fame. One is
Mm-hmm.
in and one will be gone. So that, along with how they draft, and you look at how they hit on all these receivers and how they hit on the running back, in Aaron Jones, uh, they just do it right. I know for the longest time they didn't do a lot of trading or free agents. Everything was done through the draft, and we can go over the years and look back at the wide receivers and everything they do. They do a good job of drafting in there in Green Bay. So I like Jordan Love. I think the future is bright. Probably going into next year, they're probably going to be one of the teams that people are going to be picking to really make a strong run at the Super Bowl next year. So
Mm.
that will be something to look forward to. I think, like I said, that organization is coming along. And Jordan Love, with him being the leader right now, man, the sky's the limit. I really think it
Yeah.
is.
All right. Good deal. I was surprised that San Francisco threw the ball as much as they did in the rain.
I don't think
No,
they could run it, man. I told you
yeah,
that.
but you
Go
putting
ahead.
your quarterback in a situation where you saying that I'm depending on you to win us the game or win the game when screen passes and short passes to McCaffrey is just like a handoff,
Yeah, and
especially
that
when
works. I
you
think
lose
that works
Debo
better.
at the game.
Right. And see, but I think that works better when Debo's in there, that you probably create more room. You probably have to kind of bracket Debo, which you can't bracket everybody. And that's why Kittle was open a lot. I just think that I think Green Bay's plan was to take McCaffrey away, and especially when they didn't have to worry about Debo. So I
Hmm.
understand what you're saying about not running the ball, but I just, I think the passes were there. And to his credit, like I said, I have to give Purdy his credit, and I'm one of his big detractors because I don't think that he's as good. I think the weapons around him is what makes him effective. But on that last drive, he made a third down pass to a tight window throw to 11. What's 11's name?
Uh, I can't remember.
Anyway, it was like a 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10 play. And when he hit him on that cross, man, I mean, it was tight coverage, but the ball was in a perfect spot, which kept the drive going. So he made a couple of throws. Well, he made a few throws on that last drive that took the lead, man. That was vintage. He
Yeah,
he can he can
yeah,
hang his hat on that. 6 for
yeah,
7 when he should have been 7 for 7. Like I said, Kittle dropped a wide open pass.
yeah. I
So
agree.
I got to give him his props on that.
The word has just come out. Jim Harbaugh accept the job for the Chargers.
Yeah, that's where I figured he was going. I know you wanted him here in Atlanta. I think that moves you one step closer to getting Belichick. I think that they're waiting on maybe one or two other people that they want to interview. But from what I'm hearing about the Belichick situation is that some people in the organization are a little skeptical, well, a little scared from what I understand. Want
Hey,
him to pull that trigger because they might lose their job.
let's not toe the line. McKay does not want Belichick to hear to split the wedge between him and Blank. Let's just call it what it is.
And that's what, yeah, exactly. That's what we're talking about. I think some people in that building a little afraid for their job. And so we'll see. I don't know, but I think Arthur Blank wants it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
he
do.
does. I'm
Now,
pretty sure he does.
I think he wants
Well, we got Smitty coming on in about 15 more minutes, so we'll get all the updates and everything. So we'll definitely dive in to see how that's going. Impressive. Jared Goff and the whole Detroit organization. The organization has been patient, a whole lot patient, for a whole lot of years to be able to uh they sent basically Jared Goff to Detroit for a funeral. And along with Ben Johnson and the rah-rah coach of Dan Campbell, Detroit has turned into a hell of a story this year. And very impressed with Jared Goff and how he has taken this as a challenge to go to an organization that has been known for years of losing and to come to Detroit with some unknown weapons and some guys that you never would know unless you really watch the game. And they drafted well, got him a great tight end in Laporta, drafted Gibbs, first round. They took a chance with that, but it's turning out to be very, very well. They traded Swift, which was they top rusher last year, and signed David Montgomery. So I mean, you have to give it up for Detroit and what they've been able to accomplish this year, the moves that they made, the execution that they have basically done throughout this whole playoff run. I am very, very impressed with Jared Goff and the whole Detroit organization. So very impressed
yeah.
with them.
Yeah, we looked at the head coach, man, and we clowned Campbell. I know I did. Coming talking
Yeah.
about biting kneecaps. And 3 years in, he's going to the NFC Championship game. So yeah, I guess we have to be a little bit more careful on what our initial thoughts on people every time. Everything ain't the cover of the book. It's some substance in there. And those people, you can tell they believe in what he says, and his guidance. He changed the culture. They are a real organization now. And you talked about the players they have. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a beast. I mean, you talking about top 3 wide receiver, top 3 to 4 wide receiver in the game when you talk about him. So, and Laporta is moving up even at this young age, for him to be where he is at this time. That offense is going to get better. And you're right about it. You got to give Goff his credit. He was a throw-in. He was, kind of cast out and made it look real bad the way they got rid of him for Stafford. And from what I understand, they didn't even talk to him. He found out through social media, whatever, that he was traded. So it's kind of bad. They had no respect for him. And McVay, I think, has apologized now, but got more, you have to take your hat off and give him kudos, man. That's big for him to move on and do the things he's done, man. So you have to be impressed with what Jared Goff has done.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Disappointed. Very disappointed in the NFL officials each and every week. I mean, it's absolutely crazy, and it's just beyond me about now. I think didn't I send you the link about the first down mark with in the Buffalo and Kansas City game?
I don't remember seeing that. You may have, but I may have missed it.
Yeah, when the running back for Kansas City was short of the first down, who was diving on the sideline, and when they spotted it right in front of the first down marker. I mean, it was super obvious that he didn't make the first down, but hey, they needed Kansas City to get the first down.
Hey,
So
officiating is not bad. It's terrible, man. I mean, it is. It's truly terrible. And some of the calls they make, you look at it and you say, "Well, how can you call that?" You know. And can you explain to me, because I'm at a loss with the if you pass the ball behind the line of scrimmage for a screen, how can isn't that behind the line? How can it be a legal man downfield? Because sometimes I see it and they call it, and sometimes it's not. So because you throw it out in the flat, sometimes they say, well, the pass was behind the line, so the lineman wasn't called for being downfield. And then I can see another play where there's a screen pass, and the lineman gets out a little far or whatever, and the ball is still called behind the line, but they say legal man downfield. So I don't understand the rule. I know a lot. I know you can make a block within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage on a pass play, and that sometimes get kind of skewed. But still, some of these calls, man, they make no sense. I don't understand them. And I've been watching football a long time. But can you explain to me what's the difference when you say he caught it behind the line on one play, but then when he catches behind the line on another play, it's still legal man downfield?
well, hey, I'm gonna explain the best way I can, and this is what I understand: that the NFL officials make up the rules as they go. I mean, that's pretty much the best way I can explain it. You know, each and every, it's just like in basketball. Just like in basketball, we done talk for years. You know,
About
how a
backcourt.
charging. Well, that backcourt and the charging, you got to be still. You can't be moving, and all of a
Right.
sudden you can be moving as long as you got position. Well, how can
Right.
you have position and be moving at the same time?
If you move,
It's impossible.
exactly,
Right.
it's impossible.
So I mean,
It's impossible.
it's going back to what we've always said. The
It's a joke.
WWE is in full effect. Let's just say it.
Yeah.
You just call it what it is.
Yeah.
And from my timeline, I'm getting this little message says Deebo Samuel has been ruled out for Sunday.
Uh-oh.
I can't verify that, but
I heard he was questionable for sure. I did hear that. So if he's out, it might be a problem, big home. I'm telling you, because that offense is different when he's not involved.
Oh, ain't no doubt about it. Yeah, ain't no doubt about it.
Very different.
Yeah, for sure. And just like what Bob just here said, this is what Bob said in the chat, and this is your point to it as well. Deebo allows Christian to handle short passes and establish the run. I can't see them winning without him. So
that's my
there you
point.
go.
He's saying this exactly. I agree with you, Bob. It's just you have to pay so much attention to where Deebo lines up. It's like when he comes out the huddle, you know how I always tell you what makes the defense special is when the offense has to prepare for that person. They got to account for Lawrence Taylor. They got to account for T.J. Watt, J.J. Watt. You got to account for those guys on every possession. And the same thing happens now with Deebo. When Deebo comes out of huddle, you got to worry about whether he's lined up at the running back position, lined up basically in a tight end position off the edge, lined up out wide, coming in motion, because a lot of times they get him the ball so much in any particular part of the field. And he's a
Mm-hmm.
matchup nightmare once he gets on people. He's too big for a corner, really. He's too fast for a safety. A linebacker can't stay with him. So when he gets you in those matchups, what you gonna do with him? You know, Debo is a problem. You know, so and I just think like without him on Sunday, Detroit's chance of winning just elevated big time.
All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to make sure we shout y'all out in the chat. We appreciate y'all tuning in, but I have to make sure that you understand that our YouTube page is at SRT Sports Talk Radio 2705. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the page and help us get our YouTube stuff through the YouTube universe and all this other kind of stuff. And however Smitty be saying that kind of, but like, subscribe so you won't, and make sure you click the bell so you'll know when we go live. You already in the building. And our last topic before we get Smitty to come on is Embiid had a record night the other night, scoring 70 points. Uh, is he ready to take Philadelphia 76ers to a championship and get a ring?
I think
Is he ready?
he's really focused. So he got his MVP, he did all this stuff. He has all the other accolades. So now it's time to prove that it's just not regular season, that he can do it in the playoffs. People know how good he is in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope he's playing so well right now that what we've had him happen all the time is he gets injured. Some goes down. I just hope he doesn't peak too early. I want him to continue to show his dominance, but I want him to kind of pace himself so when it comes time for the playoff, he's ready. You know what I mean? You don't want to go all out and use everything up and not be ready for the playoffs, because playoff is different now. And like I said, we've seen him break down. So I'm hoping, man, that he continues this, but I really want to see this happen good for him in the playoffs.
You think you're ready though?
Yeah, I
This
mean,
this
it's time.
this this
He's in the prime. He's not going to get any better than he is right now.
is this back-to-back MVP year for him?
He's got to be in the front run. He put up 70 the other night, man, and he's established himself. Every time he sees Embiid, he tries to put him in the rim. He tried to do it to him. Now he's cordial. He does everything, but you can tell his intensity level and everything goes up when he plays against Joker.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yeah, he's shooting for another. He wants back-to-back, because now if he can claim that, he can say he did the same thing Joker did, right?
Right.
The only thing he
But they
won't
just
have in
they
is
just
a
got to get
championship.
that ring. They just got to get the
Exactly.
ring.
Right.
Yep. Along with that, Cat went for 60. So has Cat and Anthony Edwards kind of figured this thing out?
I think if you can look at what's happening in the league, the big men have shifted the game back. Small ball kind of took over for a moment, but the bigs have kind of established themselves. And yeah, um, Cat and Ant have kind of righted the ship. It came for a minute, looked like they wouldn't be able to play with each other, and especially getting Gobert in there, looks like that he wouldn't fit. But they figured some things out, and whether it's a real championship team or not, I don't know. But they look good in the regular season. They're actually leading the conference right now in the West. So we'll see. Right now, looks good. Playoff time is different. So we'll see what happens. What up, Mark and Mark?
Yeah, Mark say just getting out of work. Yeah, so but yeah, and so give me your thoughts real quick before Smitty jump on. I'm waiting on him to jump into the waiting room here. Your thoughts on Minnesota and their chances of actually contending this year with the seemingly good play of Anthony Edwards and Cat kind of coming together.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I will see if this travels and can sustain through the playoffs. Right now, what they're dealing with and playing, yeah, they're on point. But the intensity level and everything picks up once you get into the playoffs, and we'll see if Gobert becomes a detriment because getting him away from the rim is what Golden State was always able to do, and they would take him out of the game, and we'll see what happens with that. This helped Cat. I think he's able to be the stretch four that he wants to be. Cat doesn't want to play the center position, but as long as they can protect Gobert enough to where he doesn't become a liability in the game, it should be good for them. So I think they have a shot. I don't know if they're ready, man. We'll see. Like them in Memphis had some great games last year. Was it year before last? Year before, I believe. So I'm eager to see if they're able to continue this and make this a real playoff run. But right now, to me, the jury's a little bit out. Everybody ain't in from the jury booth yet, from the room. There's still a couple people out there hanging out in the hall.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and while Smitty still trying to get in, let's talk about this Jim Harbaugh thing. Marcus said, did we talk about it? Yeah, we talked about it. I didn't know it was a 5-year deal. Let me see how much money he actually signed for.
Yeah, what did he get?
Hold on. I'm like you with them glasses. All right, let's see. Harbaugh contract. Let's see. See what I can pull up. Yeah, it's breaking news. We know that.
So are you disappointed that it didn't come to the fact? How disappointed are you? I know you're disappointed. So with that being a done deal, who you looking at now? Who would you like to see?
I like one of the young offensive coordinators, Ben Johnson, Bobby Slowick. I like one of them. I'm not
either one of those. You wouldn't be too worried about Slowick just now getting his own offense. Under where he was, he wasn't really the guy calling everything. So, but his first year, he's produced and looked well. Are you really think he's ready to? Do you think he's really ready to be the real guy of an organization?
We had a couple of guys that came from the Shanahan tree that was people said that they didn't think they were ready, but as we see, that didn't work out too well for those who thought that. So my thing is let's give it a shot. I mean, being ready is one thing, but giving a shot to do it, I think, yeah, let's go for it, because if you already have a decent defense, and the only thing you need to do is find somebody to take the ball from under center and pitch it to the weapons that you have, and you get some innovative play calling, and I think that's what we're missing. So,
but let me ask you this though, because it's more than just him being the offensive guy. There's a lot of organization and a lot of CEO stuff that you got to do as a head coach. That's what I mean. Is he ready for that? Is he ready for that pressure that's going to have? Is he ready to be the head of the organization to make the calls for the fourth downs? We saw the guy with the Chargers flame out, going for fourth downs all the time. I don't think he was ready. That's a different pressure that comes with being the head coach rather than just OC. Now, he did a fantastic job at Houston. Don't get me wrong. I love what Slowick did. But that's why I'm asking, do you think that this is too fast?
No, I don't think it's too fast. I think that with the organization that he's coming to, a lot of that CEO stuff is not going to be on him. A lot of NFL game day stuff will be on him, but that's when you hire veteran coaches and things of that nature to lean on. So I think that kind of helps when you can uh, be guided by some of the people that you hire.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
would,
that
man.
was good.
And I asked that because I'm still just a little. It's just kind of early for me. I do like him. I think as an OC, definitely, maybe assistant head coach, OC. Give him the title or whatever. If I'm Houston, especially if I'm in Houston right now, that's what I'm making him, just to make sure I can keep him on point. Because I think they really need the continuity of him with CJ right now. So I'd be really trying to make sure that I kept him in fold if I'm my man in Houston.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be tight. It's definitely gonna be tight. I can research and still listening. So yeah. Yeah, I didn't see anything, Marky, so I didn't see any numbers or whatever, but maybe they gonna
Yeah, I'm
keep that
sure it'll
close
be
to the
out
vest.
soon.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be out soon.
It'll be on X.
Yep. All right, what else we got for? Oh, so let's talk about the before Smitty jump in. I just text him real quick. Uh, we're hearing that the front office leadership of the Atlanta Falcons are having some issues with the control, I guess, or the power that Belichick is requesting or asking for. So they're trying to kind of fight that out.
Right.
And let's be real, we're talking about basically McKay is fearing the wedge between him and Arthur Blank, that he may no longer be the go-to guy or the guy that says what you think. And you know, is this something that we've been talking about McKay and how he's been kind of holding this franchise hostage, but could this be something that we've been praying for, and now that we possibly could get it? Are we back? Are we moonwalking about that?
You know me. I told you I don't think it would be a bad choice to go ahead and get Belichick, because I think that all he would need to me is to bring in an offense coordinator, somebody to run the offense. And I'm sure there's one guy out there that he's definitely familiar with. You might not want him here, but I don't think he's a good head coach, but he's been a good offensive coordinator for him in the past. And that's McDaniels to come in here and run the offense. So I think that would be definitely in something that he might even look into. But him coming in here to just get the organization in line to be a football program. I think I've even heard of them talking about moving on from Pitts, putting Pitts in a deal to go out and get Justin Fields with some draft picks to make that happen. And I wouldn't be against that. Don't get me wrong. I think Pitts is a talent, but I just don't think you need. I thought they spent too high on him for, where they brought him in, fourth pick in the draft, and I don't think he'll
Mhm.
ever live up to that pick. So yeah, moving on from him, at least you'd be bringing in another first round talent. So if that's the case, if you can get Fields to come in and not give up much more than that, maybe a second, something like that. So that's what I'd be looking into, because I think that's what I'm hearing. They're probably trying to put a package together to do that. But getting back to the Belichick side of it, I think that would be the great fit, because I think you have some defensive pieces here, and this division is ripe for the picking. Look, Tampa Bay was one half away from going to the NFC Championship game, man, and they barely got into the playoffs. So that lets you know what I'm saying. If you win the division, you and I talked about this earlier when I said at least give yourself a chance to get in the playoffs. When we were talking when Atlanta was in first place, and you
Mhm.
saw, like I said, Tampa Bay won a game at home. You would have hosted a game. So hey, man, I just think this is a prime spot for the right coach because you're in a weak division. You have some makings here. You're in a city that's hungry for a football team to win. This is in the South. You know, we crave football. We love it. And I think some wins will. You won't be exciting. You won't have the Michael Vick experience, the high flying, none of that. But you'll have a winner. I promise you. I believe. I believe Belichick is the man for the job. I'm with Arthur on this
Yeah, the only thing that I'm skeptical on is the Patriots had a worse record than the Falcons this year. So I really can't call them a winner because hell, I mean, without McDaniel and without Brady, what is it actually has he done?
one.
You know,
Well,
just and those are just facts. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, can you really say that he's one of the best coaches in the league with in the last 4 years without McDaniel, without Brady? Can you actually say that? Now with
I
Brady, with
still think it's. Well, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
I mean with Brady and with McDaniel, yes, he was. You know, at one time he will be. I mean, hell, the man won 6 Super Bowls, so yeah, he has done that. But when the last time the Patriots won the Super Bowl?
Okay.
2016 when they came back and beat us. So my
Right.
question is now is can he operate? Can he continue? Have we have we seen the adjustment of Belichick to today's football like we seen Nick Saban do, like we seen some other college coaches do, like a Jim Harbaugh? Have we seen him adjust to this type of football? Where I mean, football is football. We understand that, but obviously they play it different a little bit. They protect the quarterback a little better. They allow the defense to not be as explosive when it comes to hitting and things of that nature. And we've seen him lose some key pieces on the as far as on the coaching staff, and it hasn't bode well in New England. And I can't tell you why, but if I'm looking from the outside looking in, then it just doesn't look good.
Okay. Well, I take everything you said, and I'm not going to argue with you. We can't argue with the record. What I can say is I know what he does defensively, and I know what he does taking your strengths away. And he's not a good evaluator of offensive talent. That's not his thing. He has to get someone in here to pick those kind of groceries and have a quarterback that the offense he can go ahead and do. Let somebody run that. I think he made a bad calculated decision, well, miscalculated, to be honest with you, by putting defensive people in charge of his offense. That was horrible what he did 2 years ago. With Patricia and those folks making them offensive coordinator. That was crazy.
Yeah,
And
that
I
was
think a
crazy.
lot of what happened with him was that the drive or trying to win a title, trying to prove that he could win it without Tom Brady, I think he made some bad decisions. But hey, like I said, I would take him because I think the organization is going to be run it's going to be a tight ship. You're going to run it right, and you're going to play defense to a point where you're going to be in football games. Yeah, he's not going to let the offense go out and turn the ball over and give people short fields. And he's going to play defense. You're going to have a chance to win. And in this division, having a chance to win playoffs, that's what you want. Like I said, you've seen it. Tampa Bay got all the way to the second round by coming out of the South, which is one of the worst divisions in football. So I'm with it. I think you get McDaniel and bring him in here with him, let him run the offense. You already got some offensive pieces here, so that's that's the good thing about it. You already got offense here. You just had to have the right person running the offense. Ain't worried about the defense if Belichick is the head coach.
Well, Marky said he's always a better defensive coordinator than the head coach. So the defense won't lose anything on defense. I'm
Oh,
assuming.
you gonna gain. Ain't no way you lose. You gonna gain with defense, without a doubt. I believe that's my opinion. Maybe someone else disagrees, and more power. But Belichick as a defensive coach, I'm taking it all day long. And I promise you, the guys that he has now, will be in a better position. He'll put them in a better light on defense. I bet you their numbers go up if he's the guy,
Think so?
without a doubt.
All right, real quick. Let's take a quick time out and Hancock. Let's show some birthday love to one of our loyal listeners, Mr. Marlon Malcolm. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday
Marlon.
to you, bro. Yes, sir. He's in the state of Memphis. Represent your hometown, of course.
Yeah.
And
Shout out.
yes,
Be
sir.
careful
Happy
down there,
birthday.
though. Keep your head down. Keep your head down. I'm trying to tell
Keep
you,
your
it's
head down.
crazy. Man. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Go in the house. Street lights come
I
on.
know.
Go in the house, baby. Yeah,
Yeah,
they crazy down there, man. They shooting folks at funerals, man. It's wild.
yeah. I'm with Marlon as well. I'm not sure if I want Belichick, but if they do hire him, then hey, I gotta take it for what it is.
But that's easy for me to say because this ain't my squad. Atlanta, the Falcons are not my team. That's me looking in and my point of view on it. You the Falcon guy, and that's
Mhm.
that's what you feel. But in my opinion, yeah, without a doubt, I'm taking it. I wanted him in Dallas. I wish they would have got rid of McCarthy. I'd have took Belichick in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt, I'd have taken him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but yeah, I wonder who picked the groceries in his house because he sure ain't been picking no good groceries in football.
No, but for a long time, it was a la carte, baby. They were bringing it to the house. He got 6 of them things. And they said whoever he got them with or whatever, but ain't nobody want them by themselves. So I hear what you say, and I take that with a grain of salt. But 2 or 3 of them championships that your man won, who you just got to talking about, Brady, he wasn't the guy on those teams, on 2
Oh,
or
I
3 of them.
agree. Yeah,
So,
I agree.
a lot of that Belichick downgrading and whatever, they can kind of miss me with some of that because, like I said, he built that organization. Brady kind of took it on and became something, but the first couple of years, nah, come on now. Vinatieri kicked some field goals to win some of them Super Bowl, and the defense was hellified. They became
Hmm.
something later on, but Brady don't have 6 without Belichick, and Belichick don't have Brady don't have 7 without Belichick. So that's just my feeling on it. I just think it gets kind of one-sided and kind of revisionist history. But Brady was along for the ride for a couple of them too.
Yeah. My question to you is: Did the Patriots luck up on Brady, or that was good scouting?
I mean, you late round quarterbacks, you probably see something in them. You never think that he's going to become arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. If that was the case, he wouldn't have dropped the way he dropped to. What is 7th round? Something
Six
like
round.
that. 6th round.
Yeah.
So I mean, everybody didn't. Nobody thought he would be what he was. He became this, but like I said, the reason he became that was because he was in the right place. That
Yeah, I
defense,
agree.
that
It was
team.
pure luck. Pure
Yeah,
luck.
but that team, he was, let's say he was lucky to be drafted by them. But
Yeah,
also
I know
too,
that.
yeah, because
Mhm.
like I said, how many quarterbacks are able to rely on the team to get them to a point where they were? Because he didn't do everything to get them there. To get to that point, he did mature into that, and he became that. But I take issue with everybody saying like he was just this great quarterback from the beginning. He did. He wasn't.
Yeah, Mo Lewis got him that starting job.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all like I said. So luck. It was luck on his part too.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. All right, so as we continue to wait on Smitty, I'm not sure where he is. We're gonna keep this thing going. And I got to give you the question of the day
Come on
before
with
we
it.
move into our what we got next. Oh, ballers and busters. Before we move into our ballers and busters, I want everybody to tune in to this question of the day. I've been dying to ask this question. I've actually asked this question a couple of times outside of SRT just to kind of get a feel for what this thing gonna be like. All right, Han. So the question is this: if you are the head coach of a HBCU, let's say FAMU, Howard, or some big time HBCU, Boogie is a top 3 high school quarterback.
I'm the head coach of one of these
You the
schools.
head coach. Yeah, you the head
Okay.
coach, and he's you the only coach that he know, because you the only coach that you have coached him all the way through until you had to take the job, at HBCU. He's a
All right.
top 3 quarterback in the nation. You got schools like UGA, Ohio State, Alabama, Michigan, Notre Dame. They all want him. He's got offers from every school. His dream is to be a top 5 pick in the NFL. But you are the only one that has coached him to get to that point. Question is, what school does he go to? Does he go with you to the HBCU, or do you allow him to go to a big Power 5 school to accomplish his dream? What you got?
Big homie, it was a good time coaching. I had really enjoyed all my time with him. I'm sure we had a wonderful time, a wonderful working relationship. But it comes a time you have to move on. The HBCU and that level of football is not going to really prepare him for the level he needs to be as a quarterback and go on to that next level. And the NIL money just ain't as good down there in the black folks' hood as it is down there in Buckhead. So I just think that it would be beneficial for both of us if he took that NIL money. I mean, if he goes and plays at a bigger institution and plays for Ohio State or whomever else, USC, whomever. So without a doubt, I can always look at and tell him that he's not dropping back properly so well. But I'm gonna help him get to that bank, big homie. We're gonna take that NIL money.
Oh boy.
I won't be. Yeah, NFL will be standing for not for long because I wouldn't be coaching not for long. It'll be over with in a year or two because we be gone. Nah, he had to go to a big school, big homie.
All right, so now this is your first time not coaching him. So are you going to entrust your kid with another coach to get him to the next level?
It's got to be the right program. I'm not just going to throw him to the wolves, but it's going to be somewhere where I know he's going to get the tutelage he needs, and that that's got to be in stone. He got to be there. But like I said, in this day and age, if he goes there, he don't want it don't work out. He got his NIL money, and he can go to the portal. Even if he want to come back and play in the black folk hood afterwards, it's all good.
Yeah,
After
I
he got
think
that NIL money.
I'm still laughing at you with this.
I'm just trying to tell you. We
And
gotta
I
go
think
get
Marcus said, I think I'll let him be a man and let him spread his wing.
Yeah, we got to. We got to do. We got to do.
Got to cut the cord, huh?
Yeah, we got to. It was nice coaching. I enjoyed it, but it's time to move on. Hey, I'm gonna ask him about. Can you get me a job? Can I go with you? That's what I'm gonna ask. Look, when you go, see if they got a spot on the staff for me. I'm head coach.
The actually most important question is this: what is Mama gonna say?
She gonna be with me, especially when she drive home in that Telluride or whatever else she want. She gonna be on my side.
She gonna be on your side.
Yeah, yeah. The best 3 letters in the alphabet right now, NIL.
Hey, look what Marlon said. I love you, son, but your future goes through their.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. I might tell,
Hey,
like I said, I might call the coach and say this is a package deal. But he coming and I'm
so
coming
let me ask
too.
you this: what kind of NIL money are you requiring to get your son's services?
Oh, it's got to be nice. You said he's one of the top in the nation, right?
Top 3.
Oh, yes, indeed. We want top 3 money.
Top 3 money.
Top 3 money. Yes, indeed.
Marcus said, "Daddy can't coach forever."
Yes, sir. I might not even be at my own games on Saturday.
Hey, I hear you. I hear you.
I put the game plan in and put it on automatic.
There it is. All right, man. That's our question of the day. If y'all want to keep commenting on that, please feel free. I'll throw your comments up in the chat. Yeah, there you go. All right, man. Now it's time to jump into one of our favorites. Ballers and Busters. Yes, sir. Ballers and Busters, sponsored by Bo Bell Basketball. You already know how we do it. Bo Bell Basketball is one of the best places you can get and improve your basketball game if you're a youngster. Bo Bell Basketball is what it do. What he says, improvement. To improve your game, you must master the feet work. So go to CoachBoBellBasketball.com for more information, and definitely go get Bo Bell on here pretty soon. All right, hand ballers and
Yeah, we
busters.
need to.
I'm going with this week. My baller this week is already future 2-time MVP of the NFL, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson showed you this weekend that with a strong defense and with pretty much a committee at a run game, he can still do what he do. Lamar Jackson had accounted for a whole bunch of stats this weekend. What it was, two touchdowns, 2 running, 2 passing, over 100 yards rushing. Yeah, Lamar Jackson did his thing. So Lamar Jackson gets my baller award for this week, and it wasn't even close.
I hear you.
All right, y'all go
Hang
ahead and
on,
shoot me y'all ballers and busters. Go ahead.
Yeah, my ball is Joel Embiid, baby. Joel went for 70, 7-0, 7 tens, 7 decades, baby. He put it down. Yeah, he went for 24 out of 41. And also had 18 rebounds. So it just wasn't a one-side thing. He did other things, fill the box score. So for him to do what he did, even though it was a little tongue-in-cheek when what Popovich said about telling that Wemby was going to put Joel in the rim and all this kind of stuff. He was laughing really about it, but he said it.
Mm-hmm.
But Joel, I don't know, Joel might have taken it a little personal, baby. He went out and put up 70. So my baller going out to Joel Embiid. Like I said, I just hope that he paces himself enough to where when we come through for this playoff run, he's ready.
Marlon says baller Detroit, aka the Anchor Biters.
I heard that.
Playoff gorilla off their backs. Yes, sir. Yeah. I agree.
Good baller.
All right, time for the busters. If y'all got any more ballers, let me hear them. But it's time for the busters. And reappearing again for my Buster Award. No other than SAS. For
San Antonio
Spurs? Unfortunately not. But Stephen A. Buster Smith continues to try to backpedal and moonwalk on things that he said and try to give Mr. Cam Newton a backhanded compliment. I'm just after he has ridiculed this man about making the remarks about what he said about game changers, game managers, and to be honest, I mean, was he on point? I mean, when you look at it, and Cam came out and said, "Well, Dak and Tua game managed their way right on out the playoffs, just as he said." But now, the one guy that's still in the playoffs, Purdy, they said he had weapons around him, which is true. Lost one weapon, and he still, led his team to a drive. Not sure if that's game managing or he's a game changer.
But
But I guarantee you this.
he had a game changer. He had a moment then. He balled on that drive, big homie.
He did, but he's definitely got to go be up to the test this week without Debo. So we'll see, is he going to be a game changer or a game manager this weekend? But the clown, Stephen A. Buster Smith, gets my Buster Awards once again. I might just name the damn award after him.
I heard that. Yeah, my Buster goes out to the organization of the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, man. This is they I told you earlier this year, Florida State found out what it was like to be black, and Adrian Griffin did too. I mean, they they hung the man out to dry, man. It was rough to be 30-13, have a mutant on your hand, and I understand that when you lose your locker room, but I guess the organization has to make something. But you at least let the guy at least start to lose. I mean, you 30-13, and they had won, I think, 5 or 6 in a row, or 5 out of 6. So it wasn't like they were on a losing streak. This is kind of unheard of, man, for a guy to be winning with this kind of record, and you fire him. I think it was second in the East. That's a little ridiculous, man. So I give my Buster to the NBA's Milwaukee Bucks. I thought it was a horrible decision.
I can go with that. I definitely can go with that. And as Marlon said, how do you fire a coach that's 30-13 when Quinn Snyder still got his job? He's not even over 500.
There's that kind of 30-13. Everybody should be on notice. Everybody should be on notice.
Does that kind of tell you the difference in the mindset of the organizations, period?
It tells me the mindset of a lot of things, big homie. It tells me, it tells me the mindset of the organization. And it tells me that, let's just say he lost his team. Let's just go with that. Okay. I didn't know Black was 30-11. If that's something that's comparable and that's something serious. LeBron got him out of there. But like I said, I think Giannis took a page out of LeBron on this and got him out of there. So
let me
go ahead.
Oh, I was just putting the buses up, but let me answer to Dez real quick. It's slowly but surely we've taken the Nathan Peterman Award probably away if SAS continues to be a buster. Secondly, Sam Ocho, honorable mention buster for his dismay and displeasure of Antonio Pierce being hired as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, just straight hate.
I didn't hear that.
Just straight hate. He compared it to a substitute teacher. And listen to this. He said the substitute, the permanent teacher got sick. Substitute came in and everybody playing, everybody doing this, and all of a sudden that became your favorite teacher because they let you get away with everything.
Wow.
Right. And then he said once the permanent teacher can't go back to work, the substitute teacher becomes the permanent teacher now. And now the substitute teacher becomes a little more strict and it starts to lay down the law. Now it's no more fun. That's the example that he gave how Antonio Pierce would be. That his substitute teaching is going to wear off once he becomes the head coach.
Man, that's a little rough. I didn't hear him say that, but that sounds like Acho says a lot of stuff to kind of move the needle and get clicks. And it sounds, after you say it, I can really see him saying that. That's the way he is. But he says a lot.
Yeah, Marlon Sam Macho was pushing the agenda. Yeah, so it's crazy.
Right.
So he's that's honorable mention. But when you get a chance, Big Homer, go and listen to what he had to say about that.
Okay, I must watch that. It gets a little irritating. It's like fingernails on the chalkboard sometimes. Listen to Taylor's voice, but it is what it is. But they have some views on there. It's entertaining a lot of times because I do like that they show different sides and they have different points, and it's not just a lot of shouting and stupidity like we've seen in the past on certain debate shows. So at least it's kind of entertaining.
Okay. Cool. All right, we still got, let's see. Marla said Sam Alto reserve linebacker got him out of the game. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. All right, so that's gonna do it for
Let me ask you one other thing, Big Homie. This is off the subject a little bit. Did you hear what Paul Pierce KG said about Udonis Haslem getting his jersey retired?
I didn't hear what they said, but I think I saw a clip. Maybe I didn't have the volume up or whatever, but no, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, they were talking about what's his, sometimes your jersey retirement is warranted and sometimes it's not. And Paul Pierce came out and said, well, this time it was. So it's been a little feud back and forth. And Udonis claims that if you see him, it's on site. So I don't know. It might be a little blood in the streets when it comes to Udonis Haslem and Paul Pierce. Now, even though that's entertaining, it's kind of funny. I kind of tend to agree with Paul Pierce on this one. The man averaged 7 and 6 for his career, pretty much. And he's getting his jersey retired. I'm going to put it to you, Big Homie. And this might be a little foreshadowing of what say you. Do you believe Udonis Haslem should have had his jersey retired?
In Miami, I'm going to say yes. But for the NBA, no. Because
I mean, it's for the NBA. I mean, it's for Miami. It's a franchise.
Yeah, but my thing is, he meant more to the franchise and the culture, to the Heat culture, than a lot of people realize. Being in that locker room is something that's unseen and unheard. And when you're not in there, then no, I mean that's the thing. But in the, if you saying that I'm gonna hang up this jersey for the NBA for Udonis Haslem, then no, absolutely not. But I'm not going to say that it doesn't deserve to be in Miami. I would say that I can go along with it. His stats and his numbers doesn't say that it should be. But at the same time, I'm going to say this.
I like SIT tennis. Y'all come on in and tell me this, because I just y'all settle this between me and Big Homie. Big Homie say yay, I say nay. What say you? Because I just don't see it. I mean, maybe put his picture up somewhere, some out front. he don't deserve a statue. Give him a plaque or something. Put a plaque out there on the wall. He don't deserve a statue. But to put his jersey in the wrap. Come on, man.
But let me ask you this then. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say it this way. sometimes you can feel a certain way, and there are certain times when you need to and when you don't need to say certain things.
Yeah, I feel.
And
So you saying I'm speaking out of church?
no,
I'm messing with
not
you.
you, not you,
I
because
know
you was
what you
never in
said,
that fraternity.
but I'm kind of with Paul Pierce, so we both in church. Kind of, we speaking out of turn in church. Here.
Well, Paul Pierce was in that fraternity, and
Oh, okay. I
Paul
feel.
Pierce don't get no ring without Ray, Kevin Garnett, Rondo. So I mean, we can
But they might
throw
not get
mud
one
and
without
stuff.
him either, though, big homie. He part of
Yeah,
that crew now.
yeah, I agree, but
He's
it
contributing
was,
now. He
yeah, he
contributed.
was
Well,
a
like he was
contributor.
on for the ride. He wasn't he
I
wasn't
ain't
big
taking
shot
that away
ball.
from him.
He wasn't
But
alone for the ride.
there is a fraternity of something that, you know, it's like talking about somebody's money.
Yeah.
It's like count pockets. That's not what you do. Let me ask
I
you this:
feel.
there was a big debate about this. In the same kind of, I mean, I'm not trying to compare the two, but it's parallel. So let me ask you this: so I saw on the video where the pastor was preaching a eulogy, right?
Right.
And the pastor in his preaching said, as you know, as they lay the person to rest, he says to the family, you know,
Y'all know.
God don't make no mistakes. I'm like, you know, whether it's true or not, and that is not the time to say it. And I'm just saying, like, that's just sometimes it's bad. Whether it's true or not, it's not the right time to say that.
Yeah. But I'd have been fine if they put his picture on the wall with a plaque or something like that, big homie. You know, maybe make the aisle coming out of the locker room, Udonis way, something like
Right.
that. But but
Well,
to put his name I mean, put it up in the jersey. You got other people up there that have done things in the game. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, they were. Come on, I just I don't know.
Since Paul Pierce been retired, he's been going at folks.
Yeah.
And so this is my thing. If you're big enough to say it, then you have to be big enough to deal with the consequences. So if it's on site, then hey, don't.
Well, Paul Pierce got the most ridicule. Then he got one of the worst things happen to him when Draymond told him they don't love you like they love, like they love Kobe. You remember that?
Right.
So I mean, he's been on that end too. He's
Yeah,
taking the
but
brunt.
I ain't see Paul Pierce going at Draymond. He didn't walk up on him. He done seen him plenty of times. So
I think
he understand.
I think he was so embarrassed though. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say when Draymond say that and it's caught on open mics and everything in the middle of a basketball game?
Yeah, but a lot of
It's kind
times
of tough.
you can say it, but then I'm gonna deal with you afterwards.
Yeah.
So
I feel
yeah,
you.
so there's no doubt about it. So if Haslam want to see Mr. Paul Pierce, I'm pretty sure he goes see him. And
That's what he said. He
don't
says those
don't be
things, man.
surprised. Don't be surprised if Paul Pierce show up with some sunglasses on one of the podcasts.
I heard that. You don't think
And
Paul
Marlon,
Pierce from England?
yeah, he from Inglewood. He ain't from Compton, so I think there's a difference.
I heard that.
Yeah, Marlon say Haslam got more rings than Pierce anyway. So
yeah, but I don't think Haslam did anything to do for them rings. Maybe one of them.
Okay.
Maybe one of them. Maybe one of
them. All right,
so
man.
For sure.
Yeah, all right, man. It's time for our roundtable discussion hand. So let's go ahead and start the preview of this week's game. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna Love this. Both games on Sunday. We got a 3 o'clock game, the Chiefs and the Ravens. And they playing at Baltimore. This is the second week that Pat Mahomes has to be on the road to try to prove himself. So who do you like in this game and how do you think this game go?
Man, I've gone back and forth on it. It's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes, man. He's when he's the underdog or whatever else, I think he's probably like 9-1 or 10-1, something like that. And you know, everything they put in front of him, he's overcome, except for that one time in the Super Bowl where he didn't have his offensive line intact. But for the most part, he's overcome adversity, you know, pretty much every time, man. And we're looking at a time now where he's going up against, you know, I guess the best defense in football when we look at what Baltimore can do. And it was just it was good to see that his receivers started to play up to his level, you know, and they were able to overcome this weekend. And we'll see if that continues. You know, you can't count on MVS to do what he did. I think you can pretty much count on Kelsey, and Rice has shown that he's legit as their #1 wide receiver. But I think the thing that put him over the top this past weekend was having MVS make some crucial catches, and it's probably going to have to come down to that again. What will that second or third guy do? Because I think that I don't know if Pacheco will be able to run against the defense of Baltimore. With the Bills, he was able to find holes and gaps because they were so banged up. They had one linebacker that they had just got off the couch who was about to go on vacation with his family and had to bring him in to help solidify the defense or help hold the defense together. So then they lost a couple during the game. So like I said, to run against the defense and the physicality that Baltimore is going to present is going to be different. So honestly, when I look at it that way, my money, I'd have to go with Baltimore to win this game. And I think that in my heart, I kind of want Lamar to get the title, to get this championship. And the reason I want him to get it is because of everything that they said he can't do. Every time when he came into the league, he should have been a running back. He needs to switch position. You still have some GMs that are anonymous saying that he'll never win, no matter what he did, no matter how many MVPs he gets or whatever. He's not a quarterback because he doesn't look it, he doesn't sound it, he doesn't play like it. He's a different type of athlete playing the quarterback position is what they say, not a quarterback. So I hope in my heart, I do like Patrick Mahomes. I like what the Chiefs story has been. I like dynasties. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love to see good dynasties. But when I look down deeper, man, I'm kind of pulling for Lamar, man. I want him to win because I want him to prove the naysayers wrong. Let a naysayer say it. Oh, man said, yeah. So I kind of want him to win, and I think he might. I'm leaning Baltimore on this.
All right, so different question. If you had to put some fruit cups on it, which Baltimore favored by 3, which way you going?
Now that's the key. I would probably lean toward taking the points, but I think I would if you're gonna give me the points, I cannot take Patrick Mahomes in the 3. I'd have to take the 3.
Okay. All right, Han, I think I'm gonna stick with the NFL script. The Super Bowl logo is purple and red, and I want Lamar to win. I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City pull it out. They have the experience. They have the experienced coach. They've been there. They've been. This is the 6th straight AFC Championship game, right?
Straight 6.
Yeah. So 6 the number after 5. So
yes,
so
indeed.
they have the experience to pull this off on the road. The weather don't bother them. They play in cold weather before, so let me see if they got the weather up. Well, I'm not sure what the forecast gonna be. Not sure if I can find that before we finish talking, but I
It
will
won't be
try
as
my.
cold as this. It won't be as cold as it was in Kansas City for sure, and probably not as cold as it was in Buffalo last week.
Right, right. Marlon say Chiefs are like LeBron in the East. Yeah, but I won't. But I'm going with the NFL script. I'm going with Baltimore to pull the
Okay.
victory out. Uh, and again, I don't wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City drop that hammer and go from there. So I definitely won't be surprised at that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
All
they
right,
pulled it out
moving.
either, man. You cannot give Patrick a chance at the end to win it. And like you said, we talk about experience factor is there when you look at them. They've done it. They've been there. Um, if you're a Brady hater, you want to see them Patrick keep winning to challenge that record. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people kind of pull it for that, you know. And as an heir again, and we get him in the race draft. He's probably the best prospect that has been drafted in the race draft since Tiger Woods, and we take him in the first round. He's a brother. We got to get it. So
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes, yeah, you just have to go with him, man. What he's doing in this league right now is we ain't seen it. Six
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah,
Every
six
year he
straight.
started. Every year he started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the 49ers and the Lions, sunny California. Brock Purdy versus Jared Goff in the NFC Championship game. Who would have ever thought that Detroit would be playing for a chance to go to the Super Bowl? All right, big homie, what you like? What you got? Who you got in this game?
If Debo was playing, without a doubt, I'd still go San Francisco. But without Debo and the offense being relegated to now IU, being that other lead receiver, being the lead receiver, and McCaffrey having to share, shoulder a bigger load. Ooh, man, it's gonna be a tighter game, man. How many points did Detroit get?
Think 6. Hold on, let me see.
Is it? It can't be without Big Debo. I know it's gone down. But anyway, I would
Yeah.
take the points with Detroit, and Detroit might pull it out. Honestly, I sprinkle a little bit on the money line for them to win this game. And you talked about who would have thought. I don't think a lot of people would have thought, especially with Dan Campbell's initial press conference talking about biting kneecaps. If you were like me, you thought this was a joke. You were like, he can't be serious as a head coach.
Well,
But
it's
he's
7
changed the organization.
before Debo went out. It's 7.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure it's
But
dropped.
yeah, well, it ain't dropped yet, but it's go drop.
But you better jump on it if he's out. If that's legit, like you said, I don't know if it's been, said or stated right now, but that's gonna come down if Debo's out. That's gonna go down like 3.5.
Yeah, I'm looking on Bovado right now, and it's gonna be 46 degrees in Baltimore Sunday.
Okay. Oh man, that's summertime weather for what Kansas City been playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said,
Slight,
I think
slight,
that's
slight chance of rain too.
yeah. In
Matter of fact,
Baltimore.
yeah, in Baltimore. Matter of fact, it's a 90% chance. So they'll be playing in the rain.
Okay. Yeah, well, it was raining in last week. It didn't stop them. I just like I said the run game, but the problem is, like I said, with Baltimore now, their defense is whole, and it's a great defense. So is the corner going to be healthy? That's the one you worry about with Baltimore. Is what's 44 the top corner they got from Bama? Can't
Marlon
think of
Humphrey.
his name. Humphrey. Is Humphrey playing? Because they'll have to help now. If he's, you could single him up, but now you won't be able to. You probably have somebody, a safety having to help that side. Humphrey was man to man. It was no doubt. You just put him out there on an aisle, let him play.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll help Kansas City in some way. Now you take that safety out of the box, that gives Kelsey a little more freedom to roam in the middle.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, it's gonna be raining. So old Pat got to throw that wet ball. So we'll see what's gonna go down with that.
And that's the thing. Will he be able to keep plays alive? That's one thing I think people kind of lose sight of is how long and how he maneuvers in the pocket and keeps plays alive. You know, he helps his offensive line. He keeps his eyes downfield, but he's always moving and finding open areas to throw the football. So that's what makes Mahomes so dangerous. And quiet as kept, Lamar is kind of taking a page out of it. He doesn't run as much. He's more calculated when he runs. So he's playing more like that now than, it used to be one read and he'd be out of there. Or any pressure, he'd be out of there. So just watching him pull down and make plays with his arm now, both of them, that's what makes them both effective, I think.
All right, so look like Marky is trying to pull it for the Cinderella story.
Yeah, he told me that at work today. He's with the Lions.
Yeah. Would you be surprised if they pull this off?
Not without Debo. Like I said, with Debo as there, I really thought that San Francisco would win. Being at home, I think they got the rust off of them. I think people don't understand them sitting out because both of those teams didn't have to win their last game of the year, so they sat people. So you look at they hadn't played football for like 3 weeks. So you could see Baltimore kind of round into shape in the second half of that game, and they got their legs. And I think the same thing happened a little bit with the 49ers. So after getting that game out of the system, I think they'll be more prepared and more ready for football this week. But like I said, the only caveat is you won't have Debo with the 49ers. But I still think both home teams now with the rust off, I think they'll be ready to play.
They'll be ready.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I like San Francisco as well. I wouldn't be surprised. It'll be definitely a Cinderella story if Detroit pull this off and gets to the Super Bowl. It will be, boy. You know how many what it do signs it'll be going to the Super Bowl.
Without a doubt, baby, what it do?
And Jalen Rose and the whole Detroit nation would be flabbergasted if this happens.
Boy, do you know how many Gators and whatever and suits gonna be at the Super Bowl, baby?
Yeah, I can
yes,
imagine.
Sir. Go get them Gators out, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be it'll be a whole lot of everything. So yeah, it's definitely I wouldn't be surprised. Jared Goff. Who's the X factor in either game to you?
Well, that's why I'm saying the X factor with the 49ers, I think, has to be Ayuk in this one. I think he has to be a big player in this game for them. He has to take over some of the load that Debo is gonna leave, on the table if he's not playing. So he'll definitely be an X factor for them. For Detroit, probably the running back, man. Gibbs is a playmaker. Gibbs, and they got those two kids from Bama. They got Gibbs and they got Jameson Williams, and both of them are game breakers. And that's the thing, the speed that they have, they can turn like a 5-yard play into a 70-yard touchdown because of the speed they have and the game breaking ability. And then I haven't even talked about Amon-Ra because Amon-Ra is going to get his 12 attempts. They're going to throw it to him. They might run him in a reverse or whatever. But Williams can come out of the backfield. He can come on a reverse side, from the other side of the field. Jameson Gibbs out of the backfield can catch a screen and take it to the house. So they have playmakers and game breakers at pretty much every level. And then I didn't mention Laporta with Detroit. So, but I still think if you talk about X factors, to me, I'm going to give it to Gibbs on that side, and I think Ayuk on the 49ers side. If we're talking about the NFC game.
Okay.
Now, you want to talk AFC or who's your X factors in that game?
I'm gonna say David Montgomery. I like Gibbs, but Montgomery is. I think his running ability is going to open up the passing downfield for Jared Goff and those guys. I think getting him off will signify a whole lot of what needs to happen. So I say David Montgomery, if he has 75 yards plus, the Lions will win.
Okay. I think he does. You do have to get a running game, but they kind of share the load. They both run it about 10 to 12 times a game.
Montgomery between the tackles
they go,
like Martin.
Yeah. They run them both, but they run them in whoever's the hot one. Like you saw in his last game, Gibbs was the hot back, and they kept feeding him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I agree with you. I like Montgomery because I think he does hit it up in there. But the problem with that is you run into the strength of what the 49ers do with those two linebackers. They got two killers too. When I talked about Queen and I talked about Roquan Smith, the two out there in San Francisco will hit you too. They got
Warner
two killers.
Greenlaw. Yeah,
Warner and Greenlaw are killers.
As they come up, that opens up that middle of the field for Laporta and behind them.
Yeah, you're gonna and that's you're a good point. I think Laporta, like I did mention him, I think he'll be a factor in the game because they do get him the ball. But again, like I said, we got to see what happens, between the tackles, if they're able to move the line of scrimmage, if they're able to establish that to get the linebackers to respect the run, and we'll see.
AFC X factors, I think both will be defense. Whoever can get to the quarterback the most and disrupt the quarterback, I think will be the key to both sides. This is Kansas City has figured out a way to get to the quarterback for whatever reason these last couple of weeks. And Baltimore led the league.
They do some blitzing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll blitz. My man will blitz you. He'll bring pressure, and that's what he does.
Yeah. And Baltimore
he'll get some pressure. Say it again.
Baltimore led the league in sacks, so they know how to get to the quarterback. So
yeah, and we haven't even talked about Jadeveon Clowney. Clowney comes off the edge and has started to pick his game up, which will add pressure off the edge, for them. So Mahomes will have to be, leery of that and being, not getting hit from his blind side or whatever. But I think, like I said, he moves so well in the pocket that I think he'll stay clean enough.
Okay, Marlon say what's his name?
Kalafdis.
Yeah.
Kalafdis is there. The other linebacker they got from the Chargers, he's playing well. The secondary that they got a lot of guys in the draft over the last couple of years. They're real young, and that was a key that these guys they're young, but they're Super Bowl champions. They came in last year and contributed, and man, they really look good. Lamar is just a different animal, man. You talk about the X factor. Lamar is the X factor. I think, like you said, you talked about both quarterbacks. Both quarterbacks are the X factors. They're givens that they will play well, but the things they can do with keeping plays alive makes them both X factors. They'll stay open enough or stay upright enough to find somebody getting open. If you cover them, how long can you cover? How long can you blanket Kelce before he finds an opening? How long can you keep Lamar or whatever and just let him move around till he finds Andrews, who will be back this week or likely, or the new weapon.
He's in. He's in.
That's what I said. I said he'll
in.
be back. So you got likely, you got him, and you got Zay Flowers. I mean, they
Yeah.
are
Oh,
there,
fuck.
and we talk about it. You know, quiet as kept. OBJ will come up with a big catch, a big play. So
Hell, even a big
both
block sometimes.
quarterbacks to me are X factors, and I think as they go, you know, we talked about others having players there. Where I just think these two quarterbacks put the imprints on their offense so much. To me, they're the X factors.
All right, cool. There it is. Can't say it any better. All right, what say you? All right, big hand.
What say you,
Yeah, what
baby?
say you? It is time for the What Say You segment as we are continuing in our roundtable discussion. All right, big homie. What say you? Was spot on when his comment about game managers a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, without a doubt, I agree with him 100%. And this goes along. See, Cam has firsthand knowledge of being the guy to make things happen. He did this all the way to a Super Bowl. This is why it kind of, I won't say it upsets me, but it just makes me laugh when they talk about how Josh Allen is playing. It's like they've never seen it before. When all you got to do is go back a couple of years and watch Cam Newton play and watch how he dominated teams with his legs and his size and how he threw the football. Now, maybe his accuracy is not on point with what Josh can do, but if you remember what he did as a rookie throwing the football, he came in and was flat foot throwing the football around. His MVP season where he went to the Super Bowl, Cam was a beast. So anyway,
Yes,
yeah, he's spot on with it because do you think Purdy could play and make and drive a team? We're gonna see how much he'll elevate the team this week when he's gonna lose the most critical weapon, you know, in Debo. Well, one of his most critical weapons. But yeah, I think Cam was right on point in his comments.
All right. You want me to go? You wanna flip it back
I'll
to
give
me?
you one.
All
What
right.
say you, big homie? Even if Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl, he still won't be the face of the NFL.
That will be true. Because as much as these owners are making money hand over fist, there is no way that they want any kind of Melanie being the face of the NFL. Period. Point blank. Matter of fact, he can win the next 2 Super Bowls and he still won't be the face of the NFL.
I agree.
But
I agree.
this is just not what they will try to spin this any way they can. Matter of fact, if they win the Super Bowl this year, you can count on Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo being in the Super Bowl for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
To try to get that title, to try to solidify who should be the face of the NFL. So no, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right, what say
You
you,
got something?
Han? Yeah, I got you.
I'm listening.
I got 2 more. What say you? Has Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum figured this thing out in Boston?
I think they figured a lot of it out, man. I thought in the beginning that Jaylen Brown was trying to live up to that $300 million deal, and he was kind of playing kind of out of character a little bit. Looked like he settled down, and they kind of found a groove. Quiet as kept, I heard that getting rid of Smart was one of the best things that happened because it elevated them up to more of a leadership role, you know, where they were kind of taking a back seat and not being leaders on the team, even though they were the best 2 players. And I think that was kind of like, from what I understand and what I'm hearing, you know, by listening to some people that were in that area or some podcasts that were talking about it, how Marcus Smart would just check himself in and out of basketball games and, you know, things of that nature. And you had, what's the guy that went to Dallas that was on their team last year? Came out of Tennessee.
Williams.
Yeah, Williams. That, you know, he would take over huddles and all that. And you're not even a starter. You're a bench guy. You know, it's just for too many guys trying to step up and be leaders, and nobody was trying to fit in and be what they were supposed to be. So yeah, I think they may have figured some things out. One thing that helped them, I think, was kind of finding who was the leaders of the team.
Okay.
All right. What say
Yeah.
you, big homie? The media makes too many excuses for Josh Allen's losing.
I would say yes. Yeah, I would say yes. Definitely make a whole bunch of excuses for him losing and his bad play at times, because his play is erratic a lot of times. But
Yeah.
you know, the
Just seems like
narrative
they
does
always
not.
find an excuse as to why they lost because of this
Yeah.
pass. Yeah,
Oh,
I agree
this
100%.
time, why would you do a fake punt? That's
Yeah,
the big thing this week.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. Or
the
Diggs
narrative is
dropped that
always
pass.
changing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. It's always a narrative for Josh Allen as why. Now, if it was that, we wouldn't hear the end of it.
never will.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree. So yeah, Josh Allen, uh, definitely, uh, they make excuse for him. All right, my last one for you, big homie. What say you? Would you pay Brock Purdy during the offseason a big money?
Uh, is he up for the deal, right? But he's not up. Yeah, he just his second year. No, he's not getting paid. Now we get him some memberships to the country club or something, but nah, he can't get that money
He
yet.
can't get that money
Can't
yet.
do it. No, he can't get that money. It's second year, big home. We're gonna ride this out. We've already shown. If I'm Shanahan, I've shown that I can take Slaw at quarterback and win. He won with Purdy. He won with what's the pretty boy they got out of New England? He took
Jimmy
him
G.
all the way to the Super Bowl. Yeah, Jimmy G. So it doesn't matter about his quarterback. He just has to have a quarterback that plays in his system. So nah, I would not pay him. I would not break the bank on him. It's just like I told Jalen, I keep on acting up. I take you out. I made you. I'll make another one just like you. So I think Shanahan do the same thing. No, I'm not paying.
Not paying.
Not paying. Not paying
Speaking
him
of
at all.
Jimmy G, let's go back to the Falcons real quick. If the Falcons hire Belichick and bring in Josh McDaniel, there's a chance that Jimmy G becomes the Falcons' starting quarterback.
The only way I'd be cool with that if I'm there is if they're taking him and they draft a quarterback to learn, to come under him, let him take the arrows or whatever, and you had a young quarterback sitting on the bench and taking in knowledge on how to be a quarterback. That's the only way. If I'm bringing Jimmy G in here to be the lead of this organization moving forward, no, I'm not with that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
ask. All right,
Yeah.
you got one more?
Yeah. I had a lot of, but yeah, we go. Let me pick the best one I got here. I already talked about the race draft because I think Patrick Mahomes has passed Tiger Woods in the race draft. Uh, let's go. And I already talked about Debo. How about this one? What say you, big homie? Joel Embiid wants to be the best big man in the game right now. He wants to pass Joe.
If he hadn't said it, his play is saying it for him. If he hadn't said it
And maybe
verbally,
maybe that's the way I should have phrased it. He's showing that he's the best
he-
man in the game right now.
he's showing that he want his play to let you know that he is the best big man in the NBA right now today. I would agree. Yes. That's what he's doing.
Okay. Nah.
And
But let me ask you this one for fun, since you answered that one real quick. Taylor Swift is making the Chiefs unlikable.
um that's a good one. She is definitely added to some reasons not to watch because if you're watching the game and the camera's in the suite, the whole first half, the whole second half, then that becomes a little irritating.
That's good.
The only thing that saved them this past week was brother Jason was in the suite and he was having fun, and that was
He was,
good to
as they
see.
say, turned. He was turned.
Yeah, he was turned. So that was the only saving grace from this past week with the Swift camera, I guess is what we call it.
Yeah, I think it's starting to wear on a lot of people. To me, I'm there for the football game anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I think it's turned a lot of football people who just watch the game to watch the game, not betting and having a good time with it. It's kind of turning them off. They're a little over it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
Yep.
that's all I got, big homie. What say you? I enjoy that segment, big homie. We got to get that in. That's a good segment.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love it. All right, man. With that being said, I got the okay. Dad got a little something for me. Yeah,
He's shouting it too because they all capitalized.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I can get tired of that, man. With that being said, man, I gotta give a shout out to all the people who continue to rock and support SRT. Make sure you go to the SRT Facebook page and YouTube page, like and subscribe to the page so we can get our content into the universe. Make sure you click that subscribe button to let you know when we coming on, so you will not miss a beat. And we'll continue to shout out birthday to my main man Marlon, man, loyal listener, man, all the way from the Memphis 10. Tell Ball and G to throw you a little birthday badge, man, or something, so y'all can get that thing in. Turn up this weekend, Marlon. So happy birthday to you, bro, and man, continue to support us. Smitty texted me and said he was just getting in. He'll holler at us the next time. So, as we already know, Jim Harbaugh did get hired by the Chargers, and now the Falcons move on. It's going to be Belichick and whomever else. Smitty said his sleeper pick is the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. I think is Mike McDonald. What you think about him?
Okay. That's fine. I'm not mad, but I told you if I'm gonna go with the defense guy, I'm going with the guru. I'm not gonna go with somebody who got I mean, he's done a great job with Baltimore. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like I said to you before. If I'm going with a defensive guy, it's definitely gonna be Belichick. If I'm going offense, I'm with you on one of these young coordinators because you do have a lot of offensive pieces. I'm okay with it, but if I'm going defense, I'm going with a defensive guy that I know is he makes teams play one-handed, and I know what he's gonna do. So I'm with Belichick though. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right.
All right. Give your shout outs.
Yeah, man. Just shout out, big homie, man. I appreciate you, man. You let me sit in here and ride with you, baby. Enjoyed it big time, big immensely. Hey, I just want to shout out my city, Memphis, man. Just hope y'all and being careful around there and just stopping the foolishness and violence, man. It's a bad look. It's not the Memphis I grew up in, and I know I sound like the get off my lawn guy, but it's just different, man. I mean, and I'm on the outside looking in. But anyway, shout out to my people, my folks back home, and I think that's it, big homie. I think that's it.
All right, man. Yes, sir. All right, man. From Memphis, Tennessee, man. I'm gonna have to give Ball and G a shot and let them know. Take care of that city, man. Don't do it like that. Take care of that city. All right, big homie. With that being said, we got to get up out of here. I've already went to the Waffle House, so I will not be going back tonight. I've already did my Waffle House run already before I even got in. So it's gonna be going to the store, picking up them Powerball tickets. That's gonna be about it. And then if I do that, and God, if God bless us, boy, it's gonna be a hell of a ride for 2024. I can tell you that much.
You see that green, don't you, big homie?
Yeah, I see the green. There you go.
Prize pick was good tonight, baby. Prize pick was good.
Let's get it in. Let's get it in.
Let's get that green.
All right, big
baby.
homie. Appreciate the tennis. We love you. SRT love for sure. You know how we do it. All right, big homie. Let's roll.
Boogie. I'm headed home, baby.
This your main man, H.O. from Bankhead. R.I.P. Moms and Pops. R.I.P. BC. And if you love the show,
tell a friend.
And if you didn't,
y'all start preparing for the next. We got to get another good one.
There it is. And we out of here. Peace.
Peace.